This one be managerial accounting. This is a test review for your first exam, exam number one. How do you find the test review file? You go to Canvas and you click on your class. This is the link to our class. And then while you're in the class, go to the modules and scroll down after chapter 3. You will see the module for test 1. And that's where I'm also going to place this video. So this is your review file. It's a PowerPoint file. Let me open it up. And so I will briefly go over it. It's a great file to review before you take your first test. So when I have to take online tests myself as a student, when I take online courses, I prepare a cheat sheet for every, like 1 page per chapter. So you will have 3 chapters. This test will cover chapters 1 to 3. So I suggest spending about 15, 20, 30 minutes per chapter writing things that you are unclear about, the formulas, the reports from the textbook, from your homework, and from your quizzes. So I would really focus, and from my video lectures. So do not rewrite or summarize what you already know and fully understand. Just write those concepts or problems or formulas that you are not sure about. So the test will cover 3 chapters. It will be open for 2 days. I will open it on Sunday at 12:01 a.m. and then it will close on Monday at 11:55 p.m. So it will be open the whole Monday and the whole Sunday and the whole Monday. However, you have to complete the test once it's started. You cannot save and exit the test in the way you were able to do it with your homework assignments. So you have 3 hours or 180 minutes, 180, to complete the test. If you need to stop the test, it's really impossible. Once the timer starts, you have 3 hours. So the test is 155 points, which includes 5 extra points they're built in. So all of you have a chance to earn that little extra credit. So some of you will be over 100%. So whatever is above 150 points is over 100%. And guys, the test will be the mixture of multiple choice questions that you have not had before. And I pick 10 multiple choice questions per chapter. So for every chapter 1, 2, and 3, I create a pool of about 100 or a couple of 100 multiple choice conceptual questions. So they are more of the theories and concepts and definitions than the calculations. So you will have a total of 30 multiple choice questions, and each question will be worth 2 points. So you're able to earn up to 60 points for your multiple choices. And the rest of the questions, 155 minus 60, so you have 95 points, they come from problems. So the problems will be about 95 points. And guys, I include 2 to 3 problems per chapter. Now, while your homework is the same for everybody, the multiple choices will be different for every student to prevent cheating. And you're not allowed to work on the test together, and you're not allowed to ask me any questions while you're taking the test. You're encouraged to ask me questions while you're preparing for the test, but not while you're taking the test. Your problems will be very similar to the ones you saw and solved in your quizzes. So they will be kind of shorter, more manageable than some of your homework, but they will also have algorithmic numbers. So every student will have a different set of problems, and even if the problems are similar, their amounts and solutions will be different. So these are general rules. You cannot print or copy the test. If you get locked out because of the internet connection interruption or something like that, the power outage, you're kicked out of the test. I cannot let you back in the test, unfortunately, because the system thinks you have exhausted your 1 attempt. So you need to contact me as soon as possible. That is why I'm not recommending for you to wait until the last minute to take the test. If it's due at 11:55 p.m., do not access it, at 8:55 p.m. 8:55 p.m. would be the latest to get yourself to have those 3 hours. So try to take the test earlier in case there is an emergency and I need to reset it for you. Once you finish the test, you can see your results right away. Remember that Connect and Canvas are synced, so your score will be transferred from Connect to Canvas. It might take up to like 40 minutes. But you cannot see the correct answers to prevent cheating. On Monday at 11:56 p.m., however, after everybody is done, you can go back to Test 1 module, click on the link to the test. It will take you back to Connect, and you can review your results. You can see your answers as well as correct answers in case you missed anything. So this is probably the most useful slide here. I'm telling you what type of problems to expect. So if it's not on here, you will not have that problem. I might ask you a multiple choice question on that concept, but you will not have a problem for that concept. So in chapter 1, you will have 3 problems. Some of them might be combined. I asked you to classify the costs, so we did it extensively in the in-class activity, in your homework, as well as in the quick studies and exercises we did together in class. So I will ask you to classify costs between fixed and variable, product versus period, which is manufacturing versus non-manufacturing, direct versus indirect, and then direct materials versus direct labor versus factory overhead. Then I will ask you to prepare a schedule of cost of goods manufactured. So in this chapter, we also later prepared the income statement, but I will not ask you to do it on the test. So you just have to prepare a piece of that, which is the schedule of cost of goods manufactured, and we've done plenty of it. I also might ask you to calculate cost of goods sold, right? Which is usually the beginning finished goods inventory plus cost of goods manufactured minus ending balance of finished goods inventory. That gives you the COGS, or cost of goods sold, that you transfer to the income statement. For chapter 2, I will give you a couple of jobs, and I will give you direct materials, direct labor, and then I will tell you how to estimate factory overhead. So I'll give you a certain percentage and the base. So you have to calculate total manufacturing or product costs. So these 3 are constituting total product and manufacturing costs, but per job. So you're kind of making job cost sheets in that short problem. I will ask you to compute factory overhead, right? So again, you will be given a rate and you will be given a base. And that base could be, direct labor amount, for example, usually, sometimes direct materials, usually direct labor, and you just apply the percentage. I will ask you to do journalization or T accounts for cost flows in the job order costing system. And we did it in class a lot, journal entries. We did it in the in-class activities. So there were, if you remember, 9 typical journal entries. And I went over them. They are in my video lecture. And also, I will ask you to calculate for factory overhead and to see whether it's over or under applied. So you will be comparing the actual overhead with the estimated overhead, determining if it's over applied or under applied, and then you will have to make an adjusting entry. Again, most of you got this information, but I was looking at your in-class activities and homework. Some of you are still confused. You will have definitely this problem. Make sure you understand it. Ask tutors or talk to me about it during my office hours. And guys, for chapter 3, you will prepare the process cost summary. This is the big report we did. And also, I will ask you to calculate separately the EUPs, the equivalent units of production. And then, guys, after the problems, I will place the problems first because they take more time, and multiple choices. No, sorry, I will place multiple choices first so you get done with them. And then I will place problems so you can deal with them. And these are your key terms. the key terms of concepts you need to know for chapter 1. So any of those are fair chances for multiple choice questions. Again, my pool consists of over 100 questions for every chapter. Each one of you will just get 10 of those random questions. So you're not going to necessarily have to answer all of these questions. So conversion costs, I'm explaining to you what they are. Cost objects, cost of goods manufactured, cost of goods sold, direct costs, direct labor, direct materials, factory overhead. I don't have prime costs. I should have prime. Oh, there, right here. Prime costs, fixed costs, cost and process inventory, indirect costs. Don't worry about manufacturing statements. It's the same as cost of goods manufactured, so you don't have to worry about this one. Period costs, product cost, prime cost, variable cost. For chapter 2, we talked about job order costing. You need to know factory overhead ledger, which is a cost pool, and it consists of 3 parts. Finished goods inventory, goods in process inventory, which we call work in process inventory. Same thing. Same thing. Goods in process inventory is the same as WIP inventory. That's how we called it. What is the job definition? What is the job cost sheet? What is our job order costing system? Don't worry about materials ledger cards. Materials requisition is just a source document. You don't have to worry about it too much. Overhead, over applied and under applied, predetermined overhead rate. What is the process costing, which is more chapter 3. Receiving report also is just a source document. You can skip it. Time ticket, it's a source document based on which we record direct labor. And then chapter 3 did not have that many definitions. Again, conversion costs, which we talked about in chapter 1, and they include overhead and direct labor. Conversion cost per equivalent unit. What are the equivalent units? This is our main report, process cost summary, which consists of 4 steps, and journal entries for the entire process, which really are the same entries as in chapter 2. So don't worry about them too much, with the exception of multiple WIPs. Instead of one WIP, you have multiple WIPs. So I hope you find this useful, and you will take your time to prepare for the test, and you will do well on the test. Any questions? Post them in the discussion boards, or email me, or come to my office hours.